The first scream came from a customer. A man in a neat office shirt, holding his half-eaten plate of rice, his face twisting in horror. Then another person screamed. Then another. Plates crashed to the ground. The woman beside me started shaking as if she had seen a ghost. I was still trying to understand what was happening when I saw Madam Patience, my boss, being dragged out of the kitchen by policemen. Her wrapper was loose, her headscarf had fallen off, and she was shouting, "I am innocent. I am innocent." But the way the officers held her, firm and unshaken, I knew she was finished. Everything was happening so fast, but when my eyes caught the young man in the crowd holding his phone, I knew he had something to do with this. Later, I found out what he had seen, and I wished, deep in my heart, that I had never worked in Mama Patience's Mama Put in my life. My name is Kofiot, and I worked at Mama Patience's food joint for 2 years. If you have ever been to Mararaba, you will understand how busy life can be there. People rush for buses, traders shout from their stalls, and the air is always thick with the smell of roasted corn, burning fuel, and food being cooked. Mama Patience's place was one of the most popular spots in Mararaba. Every day, people would line up, taxi drivers, office workers, market women, even company CEOs would all line up just to have a taste of her delicacies. We always wonder why people would line up for hours just to buy her food when there are other food canteens in the same environment. I was one of those that made the food, so we believed that it could be sheer luck. It was strange because when I first started working there, business was slow. In fact, I remember how Madam used to complain about it. "People don't want to buy food again," she would grumble. "Maybe my enemies are behind this." Then, one day, everything changed. People started flooding in. The once empty tables were never free again. People would fight for food, beg for extra plates, and swear that Mama Patience's food was the sweetest in all of Abuja. Even when other food vendors reduced prices and ours increased, customers kept coming to us. "Madam, what is the secret?" I asked her once, jokingly. She just smiled. "No God, oh," she said. "Hard work, my dear. Hard work." But now, I know the truth. It was not hard work. It was evil. Madam Patience had a routine. Every morning, we would cook large pots of rice, beans, egusi, ogbono, pepper soup, and all kinds of stews. We worked fast because the rush was always heavy. But before we opened, Madam had one rule: everyone must change into fresh uniforms. She was very strict about it. "Go and change," she would say, waving us out of the kitchen. "Nobody should be inside until I say so." I never questioned it. Why would I? I thought she was just particular about hygiene. None of us ever thought that when we stepped out, she was adding something to the food. Something dark. Something evil. I heard later from the police report that she had been doing it for years. She later confessed that frustration had pushed her to seek out a native doctor, a man who promised her that if she did one thing, she would never lack customers again. That thing. Using water from dead bodies to cook. Yes, you heard me. Water used to wash corpses in the mortuary. The native doctor, after doing some incantation, told her to pour a particular substance into the water used in washing dead bodies, and then apply the water every morning into the food, promising that her business would flourish. And it worked. At least until now. The native doctor had warned her against getting caught, as that would spell doom. Customers kept coming. Money kept flowing. And we, her workers, had no idea we were serving people food mixed with evil. The truth only came out by mistake. That morning, a young man was coming to buy food earlier than usual. He had wanted to come that early in order to avoid the rush and be able to buy the best part of the food before the line would be much. As he approached the shop, he saw something unusual: Madam standing over the steaming pots of food, carefully pouring liquid from a black plastic bottle. She didn't see him. She didn't know someone was watching. But the young man saw everything. His hands trembled as he took out his phone. He tiptoed to get a clear view. He recorded her as she tilted the bottle, as she mixed the evil water into the food that hundreds of people would eat. And when he was sure he had enough evidence, he turned and ran straight to the police station. The rapid response squad did not waste time. Within an hour, they stormed the shop. Madam had just finished her usual morning ritual when they grabbed her. Her customers, still licking their fingers, still chewing their meat, froze in confusion. Then, the female police officer holding her phone raised it and played the video. People screamed. Plates of food were thrown to the ground. One woman bent over and started vomiting violently. A group of men took off running, straight to the nearest church. Some Muslims in the crowd rushed to the mosque, their hands on their heads, muttering prayers. But some, strangely, were unfazed. One man shrugged, wiped his mouth, and said, "It has entered my stomach already. No need to waste the food. We move." The police locked down the shop. Madam was dragged away, screaming that it was all a lie. That she was innocent. That someone wanted to ruin her. But nobody listened. Her time was up. The next day, the whole of Mararaba was buzzing. Some people swore that they had suspected something was wrong for a long time. "Oh, I knew it," one woman said. "How can somebody be selling food like that and never run out of customers?" It was not ordinary. Others defended her. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe someone set her up. But the truth was clear. The police confirmed it. The mortuary workers she had been buying the water from confessed. The native doctor was arrested too. Madam was going to face the law. And me. I could not believe I had worked for a woman who did such things. I had laughed with her. Served her food. Even eaten from her pots. The thought of it made me sick. People say life in Lagos and Abuja is hard, but greed makes people do things worse than hardship. Madam had a normal life. She could have succeeded without evil. But she chose darkness, and in the end, darkness swallowed her. If there is one thing I learned, it is that not all success is ordinary. Some things are not worth chasing, no matter how sweet they look. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more like it, subscribe to our channel. Like this video, drop a comment, and share it with your loved ones. Who knows? The next story might just save someone from making a terrible mistake. Stay safe, and stay wise. From the echoes of old, we love you.